Welcome back to the Cool to Be Conscious podcast. Man, it feels like it's been a hot minute. Well, essentially it has. It's been a long time since we've been sharing with you all the podcast, and I freaking can't wait to get back into it. As you can hear in the background, and as you can probably see in the background, we've got the fire going. We're cranking. Pop, crackle, pop. It's very fitting for the change of seasons as we venture and move in toward a much cooler climate here on the Gold Coast. My favourite part of the year, a lot more fresh, a lot more, for me, feelings of expansiveness, of clarity. That's what this temperature does for me. It brings that aliveness out, it brings that freshness out in comparison to the heat of the year during November, December, January, February. So yeah, feeling it. And the correlation with the hot fire and the change of seasons is very fitting for what I'm talking into today, which is season 2. Welcome back, man. Season 2, here we are. And it's a monologue today, which I've never done before. So I don't really know where to look or who to talk to. I'm just looking straight at the camera, down the chamber. It's a different feeling than what it usually feels like when I'm talking with somebody and connecting with another person, another body, another heart, another mind. But I just wanted to start off this conversation here with you all with just essentially a life update. You know, there's so much that has happened, transpired, unfolded, manifested, collapsed, burnt, built, evolved since essentially season 1. You know, we started sharing the podcast back in 2022, 2023, and now we're in 2024. We're midway through the year. It is nearly the end of May, and so much has changed. So much has changed, not only in my personal life, but also as a movement, as a collective, as a unit. You know, there are so many different unfoldings and lessons that I've had to come through, move through, grow through, expand through, and also acknowledge, also feel, also appreciate. Yeah, it's been a lot. I think one of the most obvious changes is the lack of the other guy, the lack of the other man, you know, that essentially started Cool to Be Conscious with me, Ru. You know, we began this journey back in I'd say, you know what, we started back in 2019. We started really connecting with each other. When I was in New Zealand, we started sharing breath in our own individual way through 2020. And we decided to come together and create this movement as one. And that's what we did. We started off in Burleigh Heads in 2021. We formed and found the name Cool to Be Conscious together. And that journey unfolded from that day onwards. And, you know, with his absence, I'm sure there's a lot of questions and concepts and stories that are being moved through the community, that is being conversed, questioned. And, you know, for some of you also, maybe not, maybe some of you don't even know that there were 2 of us at the beginning, and now there is just one. So I wanted to talk into a little bit about that, and the process for me has been really, man, I don't know. It's hard to put into words what it's been for myself. I'll do my best to articulate it. But the first word that pops up is deeply saddening. You know, deeply saddening that my brother, my best friend, isn't here alongside me anymore, and it's just me on this mission. And you know what that's brought up for me is a lot of challenge, a lot of a lot of feelings of being alone now on this journey, on this mission, on this path, without having someone that was so supportive, uplifting, someone to bounce off, someone to connect with, and someone just to essentially do life with. You know, we lived in a van together for the first 4 months of this journey, and then we went into our own separate vans, and we travelled the whole of Australia, and we had so much fun doing that, building communities, running events, diving into the depths of breathwork, science and physiology, exploring more concepts, more modalities that assist us with evolving in our own humanness. And it was fun. It was exciting. We were always seeking more, always searching for more, always questioning, always challenging, always exploring all of life and which it had to offer. The separation, wasn't the most, and you know what? It was something that I never foreseen. It was something that I never expected, and I couldn't have called. I couldn't have predicted, what took place and what unfolded. It's been a year now since I've been running this essentially on my own with the support of my girlfriend, who has been amazing, at stepping up and really assisting me in so many different ways. Those out there that have women next to them can understand the importance of that and how much it really supports us when we're on our mission and trying to create change in the world, trying to set up foundations to support, the family that we're creating. We all can, and men in particular, can understand how much a woman really affects you in every aspect of your life. And, as I moved through that transition of essentially, losing my best mate and my business partner, my brother, if I hadn't had a strong, solid, supportive woman next to me, it would have been a lot harder than it has been. And who knows, with what would have happened with Call to Be Conscious. But all I can say is that she's a big reason why this is still happening, why it's still here. There were so many moments that I wanted to stop. I wanted to give it up. I wanted to just let it go and restart, travel back to New Zealand and, essentially begin again. And, she really did enable and cheer me on through the hardship, through the darkness that was really alive for me last year. And, essentially, I'm sure there have been a few stories, a few Chinese whispers going around with what happened to Ru and why, he's not a part of this movement anymore after, putting such hard effort, such heart, such devotion into creating Call to Be Conscious with me. We both put blood, sweat, tears into creating what we have, to create something that is so solid now with the depth of trust and the depth of awareness that it now has in Call to Be Conscious's name in its heart. It took time, it took soul, it took passion, it took consistency, it took showing up every single week in, week out, down at that beach in Burleigh and just showing up for the community as much as we could. And that's what created and established the foundations of everything that now is Call to Be Conscious. Unfortunately, Ru just stepped out of alignment within the values and the morals of what we stand for as a community, as leaders of health, wellness, and people who are looking to do better. People who are looking to take responsibility, ownership of themselves, of their actions, to make change, to inspire change, to alter the stories, to change the patterns. And Ru's actions weren't in alignment with what he was teaching, what he was sharing. And unfortunately, the actions were too far gone in the way of which they had been manifested into the physical form, and the damage was done. And I had to take action on that and follow what was true to me, and to say it and as minimal, to say it in a way that I don't need to over explain and give too much information away. All I can say is that if I allowed Ru to continue to be a part of Call to Be Conscious, I would have left myself because it would have been out of my integrity. It would have been out of alignment with what I stand for as a person that is here to make changes in this world. And that is all I'll say on that topic. It's been hard. It's been really hard to navigate, so many different voices and people's opinions and inputs and telling me to do this, telling me to say that, telling me to make this change, telling me to, and it's been a lot. And, I've had to really practice coming back to trusting in my own guidance and my own voice more than anyone else's. And that for me has been, a really challenging practice and process throughout this unfolding, throughout this chapter of asking Ru to step away from Call to Be Conscious. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the topic. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, and I wish him well. I do. I really do. He's off traveling Thailand at the moment. He's somewhere over there, and he's on a completely different path and journey now, which I'm excited for him to unfold into and expand into, and I trust that he will really start to acknowledge different aspects of himself that weren't able to be caught in the way that they were needed to be caught last year. But through and from all of those transitions and initiations, there has been such empowerment and clarity and a deepening of integrity and embodiment from myself, and it hasn't been easy. It's been really challenging, and the way in which the universe works is it will always put in front of you what you are in need of, not what you want. And I trusted that I needed that initiation into further more of my own leadership, my own embodiment, my own ability to trust myself and lead this community. And then, of course, the changes that, I've been through individually within my family, within multiple dynamics and relationships it's been a lot. And I'm really looking forward to sharing a lot more with you as it continues to unfold and expand and grow. But so much has happened. We've been running super stillness events across Australia. We found out that we're having a baby in January, which has been massive and really exciting. And I can't wait to have Jess a part of this more, to weave her knowledge, her wisdom, her intelligence into this community. She's amazing in terms of the female anatomy, the understandings of how the female body works, hormonal cycles, menstruating, embodiment, energy. She's incredible. I can't wait to bring her more on board with Call to Be Conscious, and I'll bring her onto the podcast very soon to explain a little bit about more what she does. But yeah, so many life lessons, and I think many transitions that everyone can resonate with, especially becoming a parent. So much has come up for me. All the parts of me that were, I would say, scared and wanting to run away and afraid, all arose, all came up. And, it's my duty as someone that is aware enough to recognize these patterns and behaviors that it's up to me to hold myself through those fears, through those voices that were wanting to sabotage and stay in the fear state of the experience rather than seeing the excitement, seeing the love, seeing the opportunity to be more, to be better, to be bolder. So yeah, with that, I'm really looking forward to talking into that topic further. I'm not going to keep this podcast too long. I just wanted to give you all an update of some of the transitions and shifts that have happened in my life and Call to Be Conscious's realm over the last year, because it has been a lot. It's been a lot, and although that there has been some real individual challenge from my point of view in my heart, and from my eyes, Call to Be Conscious is just expanding at a rapid rate of knots. We had our largest event take place this year. This year on Bondi Beach, we had 3,000 people show up. I'm sure some of you that are listening were there, and it was just incredible. And it's really inspired me to transition a lot of what we do, actually, and to explore some different ways in which that we can impact and create positive changes for the people that are involved. I'm just as passionate about breathwork than I ever was. I'm learning more, studying more, and teaching more than ever. We've just done 2 breathwork practitioner training programs this year, about to enter a third, just due to the demand, the planet, the people, spaces are wanting more breathwork practitioners. People are now starting to see the potency, the power, and the ability that the breath has to not only influence our whole physiology from the bottom up, but our mentality as well, our cognitive health, our function, our mindset, our self-talk, our self-belief. It is all interwoven, and it starts from the breath. I truly believe that, and I'm excited to teach more, share more, face-to-face and also online like this. Know that we're going to level up even more this year, share more. And it comes with this podcast. It comes with season 2 of the podcast. It starts here from the ground level up, getting into the ears of you all, sharing more of the story, sharing more of the ins and outs, sharing more of the challenges, sharing more of the hardship, but also sharing more of the wins. I can't wait. This is just setting the tone for the rest of the season. We're going to get guests on that have done big things, people that are exploring new concepts, new ways, new systems, and I really look forward to sharing all of that with you, knowing that Call to Be Conscious really encapsulates not only being conscious and aware, but being more healthy, being more connected with yourself, understanding ways to serve your body more so you can serve others more. That is essentially the philosophy of C2BC, helping us so we can help others, so we can be better and create a better planet. That is all. I will see you soon. Big love. Kia ora.